Okay, what anybody got to say about Rotel?
What up, Facebook and YouTube?
Hi, Facebook and YouTube.
What happened?
Hi, Rotel here.
Sure. What happened?
I think hit your show click on her saying live.
Hey, I thought we'd do it immediately.
Yeah, I got a notification. Facebook and YouTube.
Yeah.
For what's bragging? Nice. Rotel potato.
I mean, what's the between that and loaded fries? Like, what's the same thing? Right?
That's what I thought when they said that. I was like, that's a loaded fry.
Right. Man, put some bacon, some cheese.
That's just man, your stomach hurts.
Sour cream. I bet you eat it though.
That's what she said.
Oh, wow. That was a good one. That was a good one. That was a good one.
Got him.
And so what we're discussing, ladies and gentlemen, as you join us, is the power of Rotel in the South, and it's now on potatoes. It's now going on potatoes, and possibly your nearest crinkly fry as well. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. I would see is the sneaker con. He's from Memphis, right? Because this is a Memphis-based question, but I'll kind of wait just to make sure I get y'all's opinion. Okay, cool. So as we're waiting, I throw my keys away.
All right, it's on Twitter.
Oh yeah. Well, let me share on Twitter first, and then I'll ask the question. Sorry, guys. It's nothing to do with Rotel. I can tell you that.
Side note. If you like to drink Gatorade, I have to say getting the powder in a can is probably the best investment that you can do.
Man, I thought you was going to say something about the cucumber flavor joint.
Whoa. You just figuring that cucumber one out? Bro, I've known about that. Like
cucumber lime, is that what it
years
is?
ago.
Trash.
They're jumping out for years, bro. It's salad water.
To come up with that flavor needs to be fired.
Salad water. If you ever want to know what water and salad tastes like in a cup, salad water, bro.
But y'all don't understand, like somebody literally said yes.
Right.
This is the next flavor.
Come on,
this is what we want to talk about. It's cucumber lime.
Yes, sir. Let's talk about it.
Lime don't even go by itself. You always put lemon with lime. And now you want to mix cucumber and lime, and I'm supposed to drink it.
Sir, let me tell you about the random time that I had it. I went in for a Gatorade, of course. Mm-hmm. Everybody likes Gatorade. Mm-hmm. Grabbed the Gatorade. Yeah. It was very similar to what's another green one?
It's like a green apple.
Yeah, there you go.
Green apple's
very close to green apple. I wasn't paying attention. Grabbed it from the gas station. Took it to the house. I was like, oh man, I need a Gatorade. Again, not paying attention to what it says on the label. Grabbed it. Why does it smell like a salad in here? I was like, okay. I mean, popped the top on the savage drink, and I was like, what is this? Bro, I thought like somebody like played me. I thought Bianca like put something else in the Gatorade. I looked at that. They said cucumber lime. I said, this is disgusting.
Yeah, Gatorade did that.
By far the worst.
I mean,
worst
flavor. I can't think of a drink that's been worse than that. Ever.
But what's crazy is it hasn't been taken off shelf.
That's exactly
right. There you go. Come on. There you go.
It's been up there for about 4 years.
That means somebody out here is still buying it.
Wow. Bro. So obviously somebody.
I mean, it looked good. It looked good, man.
Who doesn't?
I ain't gonna say
bro. First of all, I'm mad you Googled the picture.
That is for you.
Second of all, what drink come that color green that is good? Don't worry, I'll wait.
Naked juice? I don't know.
Bro. That looks like it got something in it. That looked like just green water, bro. It looked like sewage water, bro. Like
good to me, man. Somebody buy me some cucumber lime Gatorade. I'll drink it.
No.
I guarantee it. I know you drink naked and all that. I guarantee it. You would Capeville water over that Gatorade, bro. I guarantee it.
Whoa.
Guarantee it. Capleville Water.
Hello,
Oh, they
gentlemen.
vote.
Hello, gentlemen.
This name.
How the hell are y'all doing today?
This
Oh, we can
name.
talk about that.
I'm canceling the Rileys. Wow, that's what we doing. Only Riley I mess with is Freeman.
Yeah, I love that. I love that new hashtag. Skipping past that though. So the phrase. So help me be a Memphian before I guess my card is revoked. In which I will go to battle for that
Better
one.
late than never.
But the term, and I don't know how many people have heard this term. The term running off. The first time I heard this term was extremely recent. As a matter of fact, it was as recent as a year. And it was a parent that told me that their student was running off. And I was like, oh my God, do we need to call the police? Where did they go? Like, what is going on that your student has run off and that's why they're not in school? So for people that don't know what running off means, could you please explain to me, as if I don't know, what running off means?
There's no specific definition.
Yeah, I mean, that maybe a little too young for me. Like, I guess it's like, okay, so like run off on the floor twice. Like,
Just know when we see it.
Yeah, it's just like, I mean, kind of like just. I honestly don't even know. I can't even try to front that one. I honestly have no idea what that means.
Not sure. Does anyone know what it meant?
Took may know.
Yeah, Took might know.
Well, my pay grade.
Hold on, what's the question, bro? I'm trying to figure out why we still trying to make you a Memphian.
I'm trying to figure out why your NFL plays count. But why? What does the term running off mean?
Running off?
Yeah.
It depends on what like the term, what are you using it in, what context are you using it in?
So
running off can mean like literally running off with somebody, like running off at the mouth is like they talking too much.
Yeah.
It's like what context are you using it? It's like junk. It can be used for a lot of things.
Yeah.
Or they took off literally.
Like,
took off literally, yeah.
Yeah.
Like it can be used in like a sports.
Like,
oh, y'all wrong. Oh, y'all there. So the way it was described to me was that the student, I'm not going to use the student's name, the student was running off at the mouth.
Yeah, so that's the common one.
And then I was like, "What do you mean? Like they just been talking too much to you? Like they was running off?"
No, they were being disrespectful. They were being disrespectful. That's all it is. Running off at the mouth, being disrespectful verbally. So
that's probably the most common when you.
There's rounds where somebody needs to hit them in the mouth. I don't condone violence against kids, but at the same time, we grew up with whipping. With teachers give us whipping, so.
And so, still wrong. And so, what that meant, what she actually meant, is probably because she's really old school, was that the person was sick. So that they were throwing up, vomiting, running off at the mouth, and diarrhea out the backside.
Now, could
she from Memphis. I mean, she probably developed.
How old is she?
She's able to have a cane, so she's pretty old.
Laptop a little bit. He's still cut out. That way.
Other way.
I might get sheety clean about that.
This way. I got bit my back.
That's what she said.
Now, so you go ahead.
Wow, sir.
Good one.
Wowzers.
Good one.
Okay, I'm done.
Yeah, go ahead. Tuk, I know he has some battle words.
Nah, I ain't got no battle words. Like I said, I'm still trying to figure out why we trying to make you a Memphian.
Sheety, quick question. Where are you from?
Ohio.
Oh,
yeah. The big O.
For context for the people that are listening and for the people that are watching, I know that a happy wife is a happy life. I would never disrespect the queen like that. But she can't be coming in Memphis food like that, bro. It's like me going to Italy and saying, "Hey, all this pizza stuff, we need to wrap that up. Like, ain't no pizza here, bro." Like, that's disrespectful, bro. You can't be disrespecting Rotel like that, especially when we broke down what Rotel mean for you, bro.
But she got a point. We can't be throwing Rotel with everything. You see what I'm saying?
But Rotel is a Memphis dish, just like pizza and spaghetti is from Italy, and then like you got different like Mexican foods and dishes and stuff like that. It's like you disrespecting Memphis culture, man. You can't call yourself a Memphian while disrespecting our dish. Like rotel is a top 3 Memphis dish, bro.
I'm gonna slide in this. We don't say nothing about people putting guacamole. That's what I was saying.
That's the little that's the apostrophe on the E or something. That's the little mark.
We don't say nothing about Mexican restaurants putting guacamole on everything.
True.
We put rotel on everything, then so be it.
Just so be it.
Let it ride out. If you don't put it in a bowl of cereal, eat you a bowl of cereal with some rotel in it. Do what you got to do.
I don't know about it.
It's all
fries. Go
If you do that, you must be like those tolerant. If you doing that, like
it's one of them foods like you just expect, bro. Like you go to like barbecues and expect hot dogs and burgers, maybe chicken. You go to a Memphis outdoor house, you gonna expect somebody to have some good rotel going.
And what do you put your rotel on, right? We had this conversation already, but what does rotel go with?
It can go with pizza, hot wings, meatballs. Like it's just a party thing, bro. And most times, most Memphians are party anyway, or feel like they finna party in a way. So
they put party in too. I mean, you do what you want to do.
But now what for the context part, the reason why my wife tweeted about rotel going on everything because now it's starting to go on vegetables. And
they're doing the most with that.
We eat cheese on broccoli though, so.
I mean, rotel's cheese. Okay, there we go. Thank you, Sharky. Rotel is cheese.
No, CD. There's cheese in rotel. There's cheese in rotel, not cheese.
But I see where she's coming from. You can't everything does not need to go with rotel. Just as me and her have had a conversation. Black people, we put parsley on everything, and that's what we can't put parsley on everything, and that's a huge problem.
Hold on. To this point,
you can't put parsley with everything. You can't make rotel with everything.
But to this point, have you ever had fries and rotel, like rotels on fries?
No,
that sounds good.
It sounds good as hell, actually. So he may have helped us out.
Yeah. Whoa.
It sounds like you need some salt. That's what it sounds
First of all,
like.
y'all ain't had cheese fries. We add meat now.
You're right.
So rotel is cheese dip. Right? Okay, thank you.
Amongst other
Tomato,
things.
thank you. Snicker con.
And meat.
Yeah, little meat.
See, it's not cheese.
Again, let me break this down because I'm getting a lot of questions about this cheese dip. When I say cheese dip, it is different from cheese sauce. Cheese sauce is like nachos. I don't want to see if they ain't the rotel can.
What kind of rotel is that, Marcus? What kind of rotel you eating?
No, it's a picture of like random meat on fries. Rotel has cheese, tomatoes, meat on some fries. So it doesn't matter in what form the cheese and meat is in. You put it on fries. It don't matter. This is actually pastrami fries.
But they look like bacon bits on our screen, bro. What you talking about?
So what I'm getting at is that rotel.
Nah, I'm good.
Yeah, my fault. The difference between cheese dip to me and cheese sauce. Cheese sauce is like what comes with nachos. It's just cheese.
Mm-hmm.
Cheese dip, I can dip into that and I scoop it out. That's why there's meat in there. So to me, cheese dip has meat.
Here's where you're messing up now. Cheese dip and cheese sauce are the same thing.
I'm mad you calling it cheese sauce.
Exactly, it's the same
thing. That's sprinkled cheese, shredded cheese, if you would.
Like you got spaghetti sauce, but it's like, hey, bro, put some cheese on my spaghetti. Put some of the cheese sauce on my spaghetti, bro.
That's what you got going. The different cheese dips.
Google rotel fries, and it just pops up. So Skylar, I have a question. Does barbecue sauce go on spaghetti? Does barbecue sauce go on spaghetti? Like your mom and dad do?
Yes.
Oh, so we put barbecue sauce on everything.
No. Let's take a poll. I on this Zoom call have had barbecue spaghetti. How many of us have had spaghetti with barbecue sauce in it?
You ain't gonna ask me. You know I have.
You talking about as tomato sauce?
Hands down. How many of us have had rotel with fries?
Man, you can't tell me this.
I haven't, but I'll try it.
You can't tell me it's good.
Not too many hands are brave.
You can't tell me it doesn't look good.
It doesn't look good.
It like fries. You must have liked your cheese fries, period.
Right.
Yeah.
Also,
that's all it
Skyler,
is.
I didn't have nacho cheese with hot fries, hot Cheetos, whatever, until I got to like high school.
Oh,
That's what they came. That's what became popular, right? Then and
Exactly.
there.
But somebody did it, right? Somebody
Yeah.
did it.
Yeah.
So
But what? I take it back. No. You had it. You seen it before high school. You know where you want to know where you seen
I didn't
it.
have it till high school.
But I'm saying you know where you seen it before high school.
Where?
AAU
Yep.
camps.
Oh, yeah.
Like literally
Nah, I
camp.
wouldn't eat no
remember
fries.
when we went to camp. They used to do that. They did it with the Doritos and they did them.
I ain't doing it.
You know what I'm saying? That's where you seen it at. So it's been around for what 15 plus years now, boy.
That's not good. We can't put everything with everything. That's no issue. I see no issue with everything. Can't go with everything. Period.
Yeah. But y'all
I mean, we just talk about fries though. It's just fries. Ain't like you put Rotel on like salad. Like it's just fries.
well,
But you just said somebody put it on vegetables. So
But at some point, you got to draw the line somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Like,
So we're drawing the line on fries.
So
That's what we're doing.
I don't
We're drawing the line on fries.
people do.
So what's the difference?
okay, so I take
I don't put chili cheese on I don't know, on some nachos and call it a day and call it an appetizer.
You ain't had chili cheese on nachos, bro?
Yeah, I have.
Oh.
But yeah, I'm not disagreeing with what happens in Memphis and what y'all consider the appetizer for everything.
What do y'all eat in Ohio?
We have appetizers.
TLTs.
When it comes to like a plethora,
Oh, the lettuce.
We need to bring some of the North food down here, man.
I'll bring a menu. Because
Please.
when you go to any Memphis events that y'all want to have it, Rotel has to be on y'all's menu and is the appetizer. There is no other appetizer.
Because it's a Memphis dish.
It's meatballs. What you mean?
What places you going to?
Meatball. I'm ready to come to your house, Sharky. I'm ready to come. Yeah. But when Rotel is not served at a Memphis occasion, which is not served at my house at all, then it is a fail.
so wait a minute. There's staples when it comes to these cookouts, kickbacks, whatever you want to call it. All right, it's whatever your money can afford. A lot of times, you know how expensive wings are. So wings is the if. All right. So you got meatballs, staple, pizza, whether that's coming from Little Caesars or it's coming from Marco's, and you got Rotel. There's four. Those are your four staples, regardless: wings, pizza, meatballs, and Rotel. That's just you said what?
I don't see one of those. You know how it says one of those has to go? One of those has to go for me. So,
And that's why my name is my name today.
I love it.
Right. That whole meal can last you all week though. The to-go place that you can make with meatballs and Rotel and man, that's lunch tomorrow. That's Tuesday, Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not. No.
Yeah, when I got Wednesday,
Y'all need good enough over some one day. After that, it's over.
I mean, maybe Tuesday.
Maybe. That's a big deal. But nah.
Because think about it, when you make Rotel, you're gonna eat it twice probably that day.
Yep.
You're gonna eat it again the next day, which is fine. I mean, you gotta have. I gotta have nothing in the refrigerator for me to be eating on Rotel 3 days later. I need to go give me something else.
oh boy.
All right, let's get ready.
I would say this: y'all look well. Look, sports is back on. Y'all look well. Look, y'all been watching sports, so y'all look great. I'm glad to see y'all.
Yeah, Blue TV.
All right, I'm about to get this started. Gotta deal with y'all.
Every week is something different.
Yep.
I did want to actually talk about Rotel.
I'm mad. Are you against Rotel or no?
At this point, yes.
Yes,
I just want to know.
I didn't change my. Yes, I am. Nothing against everybody that's hosting events and having Rotel. I'll be there. T-shirt and a sign.
Just won't be getting the
I just want me getting a Rotel.
Good. More for us.
right.
The way my colon is set up for sure, we good.
Oh boy.
Okay. I ain't started.
That might say he against Rotel, boy.
Mm-mm-mm.
Somebody order Little Caesars for him when he come through.
And I've seen Rotel and Little Caesars, and I don't know.
Huh?
I rest my case.
Hold on, what?
We're done.
Like we can start, y'all. Like we do.
I'm
We gotta start the show at some point.
Because somebody didn't buy enough chips, so now we gotta use the cheese pizza as chips with Rotel added, and then no.
Hey, bro, don't invite me nowhere.
Exactly. I'm gonna tell you this, bro. You keep aiding away from this Memphis greatness, and I'm calling Child Protective Services, bro.
Good, my wife first one, man. Go ahead and call them.
Got him.
And start.
No.
Okay, charge
That's when you gotta start. That's when you start.
Yeah. That's it. Literally. All right, man. Never
That's
get
gonna be
to
an interesting clip whenever you edit that one.
my serious face on. All right, you gonna start me today?
Hold on, what?
What?
I was asking he's gonna disturb me today.
For me?
Yeah.
Nah, that's why I drank my water already.
Okay.
Shit.
All right,
Triple H on. Sorry.
let's go. All right. Let's be real about resets.
Yes, sir. I'm telling you, we've already reset.
Sports are back.
Sports is back. I'm telling y'all, we look great.
Yes.
I mean, we got a lineup full of content today, baby. We
Sports
good.
is back.
Full of content. So first
And is
off,
Woj free?
Nah, he's still on vacation.
Yes, he's free. He's free, actually.
Mm-hmm.
oh, okay.
Blue way.
But first up, justice for Breonna Taylor and others who have been subjected to police brutality. Shout out to the WNBA.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Yeah.
That's the real league.
Yeah. It's good games this weekend too. Watching one now. But first off, we'll start with quick updates. I'm gonna go through 5 different items. I'm just gonna choose randomly someone, and y'all got 1 minute on the clock to go about this particular subject. So I'll start with Skylar first with our beloved Memphis Tigers. We signed a 5-star guard, Ontario Morris, for the 2022 class. So,
Oh yeah, for sure, man. Like you just said, got a random notification that Memphis just signed Tira Morris. He just committed to the University of Memphis. So glad to have already had somebody in the pipeline ready to commit to the University of Memphis. He's a combo guard. I know Savage has been one of the guys that's preached upon like Penny going after bigger guards. So to create size in the backcourt, to create length in the backcourt, to also I guess create to recruit players with his size. So it's good to have somebody already in the pipeline for the University of Memphis. So good to have him. Can't wait to see him play.
Yep. So Minnesota Timberwolves are up for sale. Kevin Garnett is interested. Took.
Yes, sir. KG and a bunch of other people. Hopefully, they are able to sell the team to him. Are trying to buy and keep the Timberwolves in Minnesota. Salute to KG. We all know that the great Timberwolf he is, even though he don't have his jersey retired, which is blasphemy. But him, another black man coming into the NBA owning a team will only make, Black Lives Matter that much better because they do. And it's about time we had some ownership in the team. And when you're as passionate about it, sports and basketball and the Timberwolves specifically with Kevin Garnett, why not look to have him in the front office in any kind of way, especially if you're trying to own the team?
Yep. So Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr. exhibition bout on September 12th, 8 rounds. Sheedy.
Excellent. I just want to use my voice really quickly as well for Black Lives Matter. Gloria Bambo was found 3 days after she was hung in her garage. We need justice for Gloria Bambo. Again, Gloria Bambo. Research that and look that up. In regards to Mike Tyson versus Roy, please don't sleep on Roy. Roy has fought much more recently than Iron Mike. So please stop sleeping on Roy.
And shout out to Nate Robinson for that opening ticket too.
Great. All right. Tom Thibodeau, new coach of the Knicks, 5-year deal. Trevor.
So yes, in the most New York Knicks way of doing New York Knicks deals, the Knicks just a couple of days ago announced that they're going to sign Tom Thibodeau as their next head coach of the New York Knicks to a 5-year deal. Not really the biggest fan of it. Apparently, Joakim Noah is a big fan of it, obviously, because he played with him in Chicago. But it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out now, especially with the draft coming up in the next few months. Of course, free agency coming up, so it'll be interesting to see what the Knicks do now with this move. I don't see this working, but we'll see.
That's all
It's the Knicks. I mean, we're used to this.
That white privilege we talked about, but
next up, the Washington football team's new nickname, or not new nickname, Savage.
That was a team.
I'm sorry. Every time I hear that, I'm just gonna start laughing. I'm sorry.
I'm actually okay. I'm okay with them not having the name just yet because it is very much so short notice, and I think what they want to do is get a feel for the fans, kind of do a fan vote to see, what do they feel like would be a good representation of their team and of Washington. Thank God that the Redskins is no longer a name anymore. It's a racial slur. So I still like the uniforms they had. It looks nice, but they still got to find a mascot. So I would assume they will have that within the next few months.
I wonder, because they said they're going to start selling merch soon. I'm going to make this real quick. I wonder who's going to be the first person to actually buy a T-shirt and it has Washington football team on it with no logo or nothing.
Imagine.
I was about to say that. I'm like, my God. All right. So, all right, great job. Yeah, chill them. All right. So, NBA preview. Restart starts this week. We'll start off with our award predictions, Trevor.
All right, so guys, we are 4 days away from the NBA officially restarting with the regular season. Of course, scrimmages are going on right now as we speak. A couple of teams starting to get a feel of everything, but here, let's be real, it's that time. For us, we're gonna actually, if I can get my screen here. It's going to be time for us to do our award predictions. So just give me a second here while I get this screen share.
How long does it normally take for a team to be get a name?
They normally do it in advance. Like they'll do it like a year or so in advance, knowing they're gonna change their mascot and stuff. So
I'm pretty sure the switch from Bobcats back to Hornets didn't take long.
I mean,
well, we knew Charlotte won the Hornets.
Yeah, they already had the Hornets before. So.
Yeah. Okay. All right, can you hear me?
There we go.
Oh, can you guys see the screen?
Yep.
Yes.
Y'all can see it?
Yep.
All right. So without further ado, this is our 2020. Let's be real, season award predictions. So I'm gonna start off. We're just gonna rip this band-aid off right now. So this was basically unanimous. So rookie of the year is none other than South Memphis' own Demetrius Morant, aka Jazz's, John Morant. Anybody got anything to say? Because if not, we can move this right along.
I'm voting for Zion.
Yeah, I'm gonna say if anybody disagrees, they can just wait.
Yeah, I'm gonna mute asking if you say something. Ready too.
I voted for Zion.
It's a lie.
That's a lie.
Of course.
Okay. So without further ado, moving right along with Sixth Man of the Year. This is actually the only one that actually will have an outlier, and I'll let that person explain his pick when we get to it. But basically the most people that got the two people that got a lot of the votes from the guys are Dennis Schroeder of the Oklahoma City Thunder, and of course Mr. Six Man himself, Mr. Magic City. Lou Williams. So I will let Sheedy and Savage share their points, so they make their points for Lou Will. I may have missed a few people, but yeah, Sheedy and Savage, go ahead.
So
go ahead,
you want to? Okay. I mean, he averaging 20 points a game. I mean, this is a literal walking bucket. They need to either need to share the name or rename the award to the Lou Will Award if he got shared with Jamal Crawford. I mean, this is Lou Williams' award to lose every single year. Aside from him going to Magic City, I mean, this is a six man. He got a song by Drake. So
yeah. You asked me why I didn't vote for Lou Williams. Is that what you're saying, Trevor?
No, I'm asking why you did actually for 6 man a year.
Yeah, why? To Savage's point, I'm tired of seeing him be the 6 man of the year. There are other qualified people that I think are doing well for their teams, and I think he even needs some help on his own team sometimes to be that 6 man of the year. Montrez with the pick and roll, but. I rest my case. I think it should be called like the Lou Crawford Award or Jamal Williams Award moving forward, because over the past 7 to 8 years, 2 names have always been in the top 3. So yeah, that's why.
Well, I'll argue on the other side for Dennis Schroeder because that was my pick for 6 man of the year. Obviously, with what's been transpired with the Thunder, them locking up the 5th seed in the playoffs, which no one expected. The Thunder statistically are much better with him on the floor when they run that 3-point guard set with him, Chris Paul, and SGA. Looked it up. The stats show that lineup is actually better than any Lakers lineup, any Clippers lineup, any of the contenders this season for the NBA championship or in the playoffs. And their numbers are actually better than the 2017 Warriors Death lineup with KD. So the numbers show the Thunder are much better with Dennis Schroeder on the floor. He's the first man off the bench for him, so that's my reason. So Sharky, 2, one of y'all take that away.
Similar reasons. I mean, he's averaging 19 points a game this year, shooting almost 46%. It was tough between him, Lou Will, and Montrezl Harrell. I was coin flip honestly between them 3. I just gave Dennis Schroeder, but any one of those 3 you can easily get it. I just pick them out of the hat.
Yeah, I'm definitely with y'all, man. But I think all of us didn't expect OKC to make the playoffs at all, and the fact that they are, and you're starting, your 6 man is coming off the bench, giving you almost 20 points efficiently. You got to give it up to Dennis Schroeder. His game has definitely improved, and definitely shout out to Lou Will for knowing that the best chicken wings come from clubs. He knew that, so he made it happen.
Strip clubs, yes.
I mean, hey, they got some 5 wings, bro.
Yeah. All right, Lito, man. State your case for Montrezl Harrell, man.
Hey, man. I mean, Lou Williams gets the award every year. I understand that it's just award to win every year, but I mean, the case can be made that Lou Williams may not be the best 6 man on his team, which is Montrezl Harrell averaging 18 points a game and on 58% shooting from the field. So I was like, hey, ain't nothing wrong. I mean, they do it to LeBron. They'll give LeBron MVP. As they should. So since we're not going to do it this year, I see nothing wrong with giving it to Montrezl Harrell. We're going to roll with that.
Okay. All right. So moving right along to
any of those 3 cool with me.
Okay, Melvin.
moving right along to
It's bullshit like somebody that's been there a couple times.
Outside Memphis. You've been there a couple times.
all right, so moving right along to most improved player.
Okay.
Probably snapped the picture of Lou Will, actually.
All right, so now next category, moving on to most improved player. The 2 guys was pretty much even, 3-3 amongst all of the 6 of us with 2 different guys. Both of these guys were first-time All-Stars this season. So the 2 candidates we have are Brandon Ingram of the New Orleans Pelicans, and I will mention this, the Taco Bell NBA Skills Challenge winner, Bam Adebayo of the Miami. So the Miami Vice Boys, state your case for Bam.
Go ahead, Captain.
Once again, the coin flip. I had Brandon first, and I remember with Bam Adebayo, I chose him coin flip. I mean, either one deserving. Yeah, it doesn't matter who get it.
Yeah, I love what Brandon Ingram has done before Zion came, but I like what Bam has done the entire season. And literally, he's been not only just a focal point for our offense, but anchoring us on defense and getting rebounds when the white boys are in. So,
Tuke, you also had Bam Adebayo as your choice for MIP, so you want to try.
I did. Going into the season, I didn't know too much about Bam Adebayo, but man, this campaign that he put up this season was one hell of a campaign. It's something. He was very consistent. You know what I'm saying? Like Sheedy said, when all the white boys was on the court, he was the one getting the rebounds. But you do need that kind of player. And numbers wise, like if he keep on progressing, like I know Pat Riley and Coach Poa like having progression, he may be a top 3 big man in the game one day. You know what I'm saying? So y'all definitely got y'all a good building big man for the center. And like numbers don't lie. Like numbers don't lie. If he keep on progressing, the sky's literally the limit for him.
Yeah, I saw that he's nearly doubled his scoring average between last season and this season. He's averaging like 16 and 10, so pretty decent case. Savage, Lito, one of you guys started off with BI, man.
Go ahead, Skyler.
Oh, I mean, y'all already know how I feel about Mr. Brandon Ingram himself. I feel like he's one of the best under 25 players that we have in the league. He got traded from the Los Angeles Lakers. Before he was traded from the Lakers, I felt like as if LeBron wasn't on the team, that the team revolved around him. When LeBron wasn't on the floor, he basically balled out. And we saw before Zion got there, Brandon Ingram was basically putting up buckets every single game. He's averaging 24 points a game, up from 18 last year on 46%. Up from he's also shooting 46% from the field. I really think he's probably one of the best players under 25 this year. And again, you see when he has the ball in his hands, when he is the go-to guy for a team, he's going to give you buckets. I hate that he's probably not going to be there after, probably maybe this year, next year. But hey, who am I to say so? But I think Brandon Ingram deserves to be most improved player of the year.
Yeah, I got some more stats for you. He's up 6 points from points per game. It's up to 24. His 3-point shooting has went up from 33 to 38. Skyler, you appreciate this. His free throw shooting, Lord have mercy. His free throw shooting has shot from 85% to 85%.
Sure. Right, that's a jump.
And then rebound, he's up by 1, up to 6 rebounds a game. Assists up 4.3 assists, and he's only averaging 1 more minute per game. You know what I'm saying? So he's definitely got way more efficient. And like Skyler said, I think he's gone from New Orleans just because he wants to be, I think, the focal point of a team. But I have no problem with Bam or BI, but I just chose BI.
Can't go wrong. Both of them had crazy seasons.
Yeah, that's what
absolutely.
Let Ashton speak on this one since he is a Kentucky fan and Bam is from Kentucky. So what you got, Ashton?
Oh, there you go.
First of all, I don't always go with my Kentucky boys, you know.
That's a lie.
Whoa, I think so it's packed. First of all, Bam has been impressive, but I hate to say it because he's a former Breaker. BI has definitely improved, and he's shown more than I thought he was capable of in his previous years. I'm not gonna say LeBron was the limiting factor, but maybe so. I hate to say that for you, Sheedy and shit. You know, LeBron may have been the leading factor, but no, BI definitely takes this one for me. So no, I don't ride with my Kentucky boys all the time. Chill out.
Yeah. Now. All right.
All right. Next up, we got Defensive Player of the Year. Just like the previous category, this was split down 3 different ways. So without further ado, 2 guys we have are Anthony Davis from the Lakers and Giannis Antetokounmpo from the Milwaukee Bucks. So,
but neither one of them wear black forces. Neither one of them wear black forces. That's what you got to wear for Defensive Player of the Year. Black forces. Neither one of them wear black forces. I'm upset.
It needs to be on the trophy though. Does that have to say black forces as a trophy?
I think I chose Anthony Davis. Once again, a coin flip, honestly. He didn't want to give up but I have Giannis for another award, so I didn't want to give him 2 awards, so I gave Anthony Davis.
Yeah. For me, my pick was also Anthony Davis, and while all the numbers definitely point towards Giannis possibly being Defensive Player of the Year, like Sharky said, I couldn't give him 2 awards. So Anthony Davis is tied for second in the league in block shots, so he definitely does a great job protecting the rim. So that's why I chose Anthony Davis.
I also chose Anthony Davis. We'll keep the ball rolling with Anthony Davis. I mean, he's top 5 in blocks. I want to say I'm not sure if he's top 5 in rebounds, but a lot of times I don't just look at numbers for some of these awards. I just also look at how the game has changed, or what do you do to when you come into the game, how the game has changed. And the Lakers, when he's on the floor, it's just there's so much different. Communication is better. Everybody is able to. If somebody gets blown off the ball, whether it be Avery Bradley or Rajon Rondo or Caruso or something like that, of course, you got Anthony Davis right there behind him. And I just think he's just really that good of a player. He rebounds well. He also plays off the ball as well, too, for a defender. And he's also able to guard a lot of positions other than just power forward or center, too.
Yep.
So that's why I chose Anthony Davis for Defensive Player of the Year.
He's perfect for the Rockets lineup.
Yeah.
I think for me, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Who, me?
No, you good. Go ahead.
Okay. For me, I actually picked Giannis because just his overall presence in the paint defensively is like what keeps the Bucks at the number 1 seed, consistently. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that I chose him as DPOY and the other award that we'll get to next time, it'll be the first time since Michael Jordan got both of them. And I think it's about time that we give the roses to what they do. So, Giannis is, like I said, a beast offensively, of course, but defensively, you take him out the paint and pretty much everybody gonna be scoring on the Bucks, so you got to give credit to where it's due.
Yeah, I'm gonna piggyback off that because I've watched I watched many Giannis games because this is a literal freak, and very few people can give you 30 on one end and then go sit in that chair on the other end. This man, he is 3rd in rebounds and 3rd in points per game. Still give you 6 dimes, and then that's offense, right? But give you 1 block, give you a steal, and 11 defensive rebounds per game. Like, for somebody to do that, like, I gotta give it to him. Like, I love AD, but Giannis, AD got LeBron, man, but Giannis is by himself.
He's literally by himself.
I guess I'll go. I don't know where the split happened, but I definitely had AD on this one. You can run the tape back when we started the show last year. I said AD would be the Defensive Player of the Year, and I'm sticking to it. Yeah. His ability to help off ball is amazing and incredible. But even when he is the center, right, when Dwight is out and JaVale, Shaq, and the Fool is out, you can still count on Anthony Davis to be that guy in the middle. And to your point, Skylar, he can still guard really 1 through 4. I guess really more 2 or 4. Yeah, and 1 through 5, really realistically. I'm not saying Giannis can't. I'm not saying that at all. I believe in the Greek feat just like everybody else. But I think Anthony Davis puts a little bit of a heavy emphasis on his defense than Giannis. Giannis puts a heavy emphasis on his overall game. Like, Giannis comes on the court and wants to be the best player on offense and defense. Well, I think Anthony Davis's mindset is he knows he's a good offensive player, but wants to get better on defense and even challenge LeBron to be better on defense this season, and has turned the Lakers into a more defensive team. Mm-hmm. The Bucks are already a good defensive team, but I think the Lakers got even better defensively with getting Anthony Davis this past off season. So
Lakers are top 5 in defense. That was not the case last year.
Yeah. Good point.
That's a great point.
That was Lance Stevenson.
Now with Randy Ingram.
Oh.
Man.
But that was my apology there. It wasn't an even split. It was 4-2 for AD. But he ain't perfect, right? So moving along to Coach of the Year.
Trevor, it's another Kentucky product on that picture.
True.
Oh, okay. Let me back up then. Ashton, take it away.
I hate to say, coming off the comments of you guys, basically Sheedy was right about Giannis doing the overall thing. I'm not going. I don't care about that top. The Lakers in the top 5 now. I really don't care. I hate you guys. I just want you to know I hate y'all. But
How you really feel?
But like you said, Giannis is a overall player. It has been offensive and defensive. AD has been early in his career. He was kind of known as I'm not gonna say a softie, but injury prone. Like not really trying to play defense that hard. To kind of step it up this year and actually get blocks, rebounds, and actually help LeBron become more defensive minded, or the team. Period. Really. So I'm gonna have to go with AD on this one.
Good choice.
Right.
All right.
Kentucky.
All right.
Kentucky at the end of the day.
All right. Next category, we got Coach of the Year, and I'm gonna be honest. This is by far probably the most even category that we probably would have on this entire slate. So without further ado, Coach of the Year was split 3 ways between Taylor Jenkins, coach of the Grizzlies, Nick Nurse of the Toronto Raptors, and Billy Donovan of the Oklahoma City Thunder.
My brother was Billy Donovan.
Once again,
Yeah, we don't go to really don't.
I think I chose Billy Donovan. Coin flip between all 3. I mean, nobody expected OKC to be in the playoffs. Nobody, some of us didn't expect Toronto to even be in the actual playoffs, let alone the 2 seed. And we expected the Grizzlies, with the exception of 2, to be completely rebuilding. So, yeah.
Oh, rebuilding.
Oh, man.
Hey, when you can win or rebuild, it's a blessing. She to take notes.
Well, who did you pick to?
I actually went with Nick Nurse, man. Like nobody, once they lost Kawhi, I definitely didn't expect them to be, the second seed in the Eastern Conference. I was expecting them, I think, to make the playoffs at least. But the second conference, and possibly could have been a first if the season kept going. You got to give it up to Nick Nurse and top 10 Larry. You got to.
You said, hold on, wait. You ain't gonna slide it up in there like you didn't just say what I.
Let's keep going. Let's keep going.
Wow,
he been here long enough. He been saying this, so
wow.
I went with Taylor Jenkins just because. I mean, just as anybody can say that. Okay, well, the Raptors lost Kawhi Leonard. Some people could have said the Raptors still could have made the playoffs, which would have been valid. A lot of people could have been said, like once Paul George left, that the Thunder still possibly could have made the playoffs, which would have been valid. But I don't think too many people outside, I guess you want to say too, thought the Grizzlies would be in any form or fashion in the position that they are today. And I think with the help of John Morant, Taylor Jenkins has been an anchor to help the Grizzlies not only be contending for the 8th seed, but literally have a chance to, literally get in. So I think Taylor Jenkins has done an amazing job being able to change the culture of the team, being able to get what he's gotten out of John Morant, then Triple J, then also Brandon Clark too. So that's why I went. That's why I went with Taylor Jenkins. Then plus I wanted to be biased and choose somebody from Memphis too. So
I also picked Taylor Jenkins because the Grizzlies were supposed to be a bottom feeding team. Period. Like nobody expected them nobody expected the Grizzlies to be anywhere near the playoffs. I'm talking about like 9, 10, 11. We thought like they'll be 14, 15. And the Grizzlies also knew that as well too, because the trades in mid-season was like, oh snap, we got a young team. Let's get some more pieces, get some more draft picks, and and let's make this thing work. So I definitely go with Taylor Jenkins again from the Pop coaching tree. What he has done this year is nothing short of amazing, man.
Yeah. Taylor Jenkins, I will say, Taylor Jenkins will win this award, but he wasn't my pick this year. Billy Donovan was my pick, obviously, and everything that's ever just said about Taylor Jenkins is the same thing can be said about Billy Donovan. The Thunder, after Russ and PG and all those guys were gone, everyone thought the Thunder was dead in the water. Like they were going to be fringe playoff, maybe 9 to 11, possibly even lower. But for them to not only be in the playoffs, but be a top 5 seed and to potentially win a series, I do believe that they could beat the Utah Jazz if they would have matched up in the playoffs. You just got to give the credit. I just think that case is a little stronger than Taylor Jenkins. Nick Nurse, I think, should have won it last year. I don't think he's done a great job of keeping Toronto afloat, but should have won it last year. But Taylor Jenkins will win this award. It's just not this year. I just think
So Trevor, I can't wait for you to not be an Oklahoma City fan because you talked a lot about Oklahoma City this podcast so far, and I didn't interrupt and say Eric Spoelstra here, but my pick actually I was with two. Nick
Last
Nurse.
time I checked, I was a Greers fan, but okay.
Get him. Let it be known.
That's how I check out the Greers fan.
But what I
It was
will say
announced
is
on this podcast.
Nick Nurse, the year before the Raptors weren't in the playoffs. They did get a 1 year rental. Yeah, thank you. With Kawhi, got them a ring, and now this year they're without Kawhi. So as I put it on, I'll say it. I did say that they weren't going to make the playoffs, but they're literally the second seed and looking very good actually, and very cohesive because they only lost Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, Danny Green.
Oh yeah, Danny
So,
Green. Yeah,
That's two starters, literally.
that is. So yeah, thank you. So they lost two starters, but they're still a second seed. Whether you put it in East or West, it doesn't matter. I think they're still a great team that's put together. And Nick Nurse is doing an excellent job with coaching up Pascal Siakam up as well.
Per cow sequel.
So I just give a shout out to Nick Nurse on this one, man.
Like you said, Sharky, even though you can't flip a coin three ways, this was literally a coin toss between all three, for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Picking the ass. So.
All right. Last but not least, MVP of this year. You guys know the two main candidates, so whoever wants to start first, go right ahead.
Man, this is LeBron James' award every single year. I'm not even sure why we're discussing this. LeBron James is the best player on the best team in the NBA. Yet again, this is LeBron James' award, period.
Last I checked, Giannis is the best player on the team with the best record with Anthony Davis on his team. Give me
Eastern Conference.
I took Giannis because, like we all know, the NBA said that we're gonna look before the bubble even happened, and I think not the bubble, the COVID even happened, and I think that last end of the season would have been if LeBron would have kept balling out like he was. LeBron would definitely have my vote. But if we're talking before COVID, like we can't ignore Giannis numbers, man. Like 30 and 13, like that's Shaq like. No.
30, 13, 6, 1, 1 and
1.
Like I support LeBron, but hey, that's crazy.
I will be the biggest LeBron critic to the day I die, and he's been balling his butt off this season. I give him all the credit in the world, but I think that last second half, not playing that last second half, hurt him in this race.
I definitely said LeBron. In my case about this was it could have been LeBron's award last year, and y'all like, wait a minute, he was hurt last year. My point exactly, he was hurt last year. The Lakers didn't make the playoffs, and the Cavs, who only lost LeBron the season before then, were a lottery team at that point.
Jimmy Butler's all teams, lottery teams too. Keep going.
Yes. Well, I didn't vote for it. I don't know if you voted for Jimmy, but I didn't.
I did. I'm just saying, keep going. That's your argument. Keep going.
But then LeBron, like this season, I hear what you're saying. Anthony Davis is a freak, right? But Anthony Davis by himself didn't even make the Pelicans a number one seed.
But I hate when people say that because the Pelicans just sucked. They just sucked.
Did they? Did they suck or did they just barely miss the playoffs?
They had Drew Holiday and who else?
Chris Middleton has been overrated for many years.
I mean, I agree Chris Middleton's overrated.
So, I mean, it's a coin flip, but my coin is going to land with LeBron for now, for this year.
Yeah, I would probably argue the same sentiments with Sheedy. My pick was LeBron James. I think since last season, and they missed the playoffs. He's been on a mission this year. He hasn't had a lot to do, not much of the load, but even with that, he's still averaging 26, 10 assists, which is the most he's averaged in his career, and 8 rebounds a game. Yes, Giannis got all the numbers and he's doing it by himself, but I just think that this year, LeBron is definitely on the mission. So LeBron was my pick for MVP.
Yeah,
It's my man.
to go back on Tuke's point, I did think LeBron might have caught him because I think Giannis was hurt when the season stopped, and LeBron was on his way on the comeback trail to get the MVP. But since they're doing it based off the first 65 games, to me, Giannis got it. Aston, break the tiebreaker.
Wow, that is a lot of.
That's a lot of pressure there, man.
Yeah,
a lot of pressure, man.
No, went to Kentucky, so speak from the heart.
Honestly, I don't know. Like, I feel like a lot of favoritism be playing towards Giannis just because he is by himself, and then a lot of favoritism is played towards LeBron because it's LeBron. If I had to say, honestly, I hate to be that person.
Y'all making being alone and putting up numbers a bad thing.
It's I'm not being alone putting up numbers ain't a bad thing.
And your team's the number one seed. Like y'all making it sound bad.
But okay,
I mean, the
so
same thing happened last year.
That's what I'm saying. So what changed from last year? And he didn't get. Did he get it last year? No.
Yeah.
He did. He got it last year.
Yeah.
Okay. So what changed from this year besides LeBron competing with him, and he still got better numbers than LeBron?
None to me. I pick Giannis.
Yeah, I pick Giannis too.
So what you say? It sounds like you picking Giannis too.
I thought they already
30, 13, 6, 1, 1. Lord,
what's the Bucks record again? Even though they're number one, what's their record again?
51-12. They got a 7-game lead on the Raptors.
Who's the choice?
Yeah, you got to make a choice now. We got to move forward.
Yeah, we got to move along, bro. Think long, think wrong.
I'm gonna pick Giannis, man.
There you go. There we go. Smart guy.
Man.
Smart man.
Good choice.
All right.
Even Ludus has got to choose something.
There's a lot of coin flipping in that one throughout that awards. Like I said, all those awards, coin flips, even the MVP. All the coin flips. I think all choices we all chose would be the finalists. I can't say that much.
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, hey, good job with that one, Trevor.
Yeah, thanks, Trevor.
All right, so Skyler.
Let us, hey, you guys out there watching, let us know who y'all think.
Yep.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Skyler.
All right, Skyler. Team under most pressure.
All right, man. So now that we're basically a couple days away from the season restarting in Orlando, I definitely want to get y'all's choice of what team you think is under the most pressure. I think with a lot of teams, with there being no home court, there's a lot of teams that can say, okay, we legit have a chance of winning the title. And there are some teams that have fallen short over the past couple of years. There are some teams that have exceeded expectations going into the restart. So of the teams that are allowed to restart, which of the 21, 22, of the 22, which team is under the most pressure? You can say the Rockets, you can say Lakers, Bucks, whoever the choice may be. Who do you think legit has to do something, has to make a deep run in the playoffs once it restarts?
I'll start. Oh, go ahead.
My bad. Easily the Lakers. Like, this is pure basketball, no distractions. If you're the best player in the world, LeBron James, Giannis, this is your time to prove it. Like, there are no distractions, just straight up basketball. You're going to have to prove it. And if LeBron is supposed to y'all's MVP, I wouldn't be mad if he was MVP, but this is your time to prove that you are the best basketball player in the world. You better prove it, or if not, then you're 35 years old. Like, your window is closing. Like, literally, this is your time to shine, LeBron.
I'll stay in LA, but go ahead, Shark. I'm sorry.
I was about to say, I guess he double did with the next question with team and player under most pressure.
My bad.
That's both of them.
Yeah, I'll stay in LA. I'm actually going to go with the LA Clippers. Because I feel as though that everybody is already kind of crowning them to make this deep run in the playoffs. They've lost a lot of players due to injury or having to leave the bubble. We know what we're getting with Kawhi. We know what we're getting with Paul George, things of that nature. And every NBA insider is kind of quote unquote crowning them the perfect team because they have all this depth along with their stars. So at this point, it's time to put up a shut up. So my team with the most pressure would have to be the Clippers.
Savage.
I'm gonna say the best team in the league right now, Milwaukee. I feel like I've taken some time to kind of like evaluate what's going on out east. Toronto is a very, very scary good team. You know, Siakam is there, so that could be your problem. And then also don't sleep on Boston either. So I feel like Milwaukee, you know, from 1 to 8 might seem to have the easiest path, but there are some well-coached teams that's like right below them that could give them trouble. You know, so I think Milwaukee is having they have the most pressure, along with who I have in the next segment after this one.
Yeah.
All right, Aston.
I was going to agree with Marcus as well. Honestly, just because I feel like it's time for Milwaukee to actually perform when it comes to playoffs and making a run, even with the best record and quote unquote, your MVP. I'm gonna have to give it to Milwaukee and Giannis. Honestly,
Kawhi ain't there no more.
It's literally time to perform. LeBron's not in the East. Kawhi's not in the East with you. It's time for you to perform now.
My team that I think is under the most pressure this year is the Rockets. You traded, you went to a small ball lineup. You've been off this entire summer. Things have not changed with that lineup, and you're going to go with that type of lineup. So I believe they are under the most pressure in my eyes, or the Houston Rockets.
And mine, it was the Rockets originally. I switched it to Milwaukee, I think, around this morning. Mainly because I think Russell Westbrook and James Harden, they're not going to split the team up.
Right.
They're going to run it back again next year. And because of COVID, Mike D'Antoni's job might be safe for another year because of COVID. But I switched to Milwaukee because of Giannis' contract situation. It's very similar to LeBron in Cleveland the first time. And best record league back-to-back years, didn't make the finals, he left. This might be the same exact record that happens with Giannis. So that's why Milwaukee is the team with under the most pressure in my eyes, because Giannis' contract decision time is coming up next year. Yeah.
I'm actually going to say the Lakers. The only reason I'm saying the Lakers is because I'm more scared of the Golden State Warriors, and granted they are extremely irrelevant for this time this year. But we all know the Golden State Warriors are going to come back fully healthy, maybe even stronger than before. And so if you're LeBron, like Tuke said, you want to get as many rings as you can out the way now before the Clippers start get to roll, and before the Warriors start get to roll, and before the Nuggets start to get more experience under their belt. So I don't want to say the Lakers, but as a Lakers fan, I'm just like, man, you got it. You got to. You got to.
Okay. Player
that is probably under the most pressure, I would say, I would say James Harden. I mean, to kind of piggyback off what Chidi said, I mean, James Harden is probably one of the people that's under the most pressure. He's been one of those players that's consistently done well in the regular season and not done so well in the postseason. And so now, and people have typically given him the excuse of, well, he's played a lot of minutes and he has the ball most of the time. So now with COVID, you've had a 4-month break of you resting and you get your feedback and all that type of stuff. You got to perform, and you don't want to underperform and then Russell Westbrook outperform you. So I think Russell Westbrook is under James Harden is under a lot of pressure going back into the restart.
I'm gonna say Chris Middleton.
There you go.
I say Chris Middleton because one or two things could happen if he does not play like how Chris Middleton is supposed to play. One, Giannis gonna get out of there after next year. Two, the Bucks might trade Chris Middleton and get some more pieces around Giannis. Middleton is, to me, he's uninspiring. Like he's like very, very off-brand Klay Thompson that can't shoot as good as Klay Thompson. So I feel like in order for the needle to move for Milwaukee, Chris Middleton has to be that 23 to 25 points per game scorer, and I don't know if he can do that.
Agreed.
2.
1A, 1B, LeBron and Harden, simply because I can say the same thing about both of them. Like you've had literally a full off season, to just get your body right, chill, get ready mentally, physically for the time that you're supposed to show when you're the best. You know what I'm saying? Sheedy, you stepped it right on the head with the Rockets, and most of us gonna fall on the James Harden, who people say, oh, you get to the end of the season, he's tired. You can't say he's tired no more unless he's out of shape right now. And then the same thing is about LeBron. So that's why I say 1A, 1B for me, because the same can apply for both.
Aston.
I think I've already said Giannis. Yeah, I said it when I said the Bucks.
I
said, it's just time to perform.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with Savage and say Chris Middleton.
That's a good one.
I see
That's a good
it.
one. That's a good
He's
one.
averaging 21 right now, but we need for him to be that second go-to guy around Giannis. He needs to be around 23 to 25 a game. So Chris Middleton will be my player under the most pressure.
You know me, I like to go a little unorthodox. The player that I'm going to say is actually Paul George.
That's a good one.
With Oklahoma City 2 years ago, right? He signed with that extension with Oklahoma City to be there. Last year, maneuvered his way out of Oklahoma City to get with the Clippers. Now, granted, the Clippers, when they're fully loaded, fully healthy, fully everybody on the court, out of 12 games, they're 11-1. However, not gonna have Magic City Lou maybe for some time.
Magic City,
and there's 5 other players, right, that they need to get it all together. So, was this whole move for Paul George worth it, right? And for the Clippers to hang their, I think their first championship banner. So I'm putting the pressure on Paul George.
What's the conference appearance? What's the conference finals
appearance?
Wow,
even worse.
So I'm gonna go really off the brand. First, originally I was thinking LeBron, but I'm gonna go with Eric Bledsoe. To keep it with Milwaukee because last year in the playoffs, really when they lost the series to Toronto, it was pretty much Eric Bledsoe who didn't show up from what he did in the regular season to the playoffs. So I believe he's the key to them making that run. He has to perform in the playoffs better than he has throughout his career.
I hope Wesley Matthews steps up for the Bucks. I take that.
Wesley Matthews.
All right, 2Q2 predict the playoff seasons, man.
I bet. So pretty much, a lot of the Eastern Conference is really for both of them is really the middle to the end that it starts to get tricky. So I don't know if you want to do like 1 through 8 for everybody, or just get mine, or how you want to do it.
How do you think so?
I think the locks are already 1 through 4 pretty much.
Do 1 through 8.
1 through 8.
Yeah, you gonna do it. Y'all do 1 through 8.
Okay, so 1 through 8. Milwaukee, I think is gonna stay at the first, followed by Toronto, Boston, Miami, who's gonna be a 4th seed. I think Philly's gonna move up, Indy's gonna go down. I think Orlando gonna get that the 7th seed, and Brooklyn's gonna capture the 8th. And then for the Western Conference, I got the Lakers, of course, finishing that out strong. Clippers, Nuggets. I'm gonna put OKC in the top 4. I'm gonna put the Utah 5, Houston Rockets 6, Dallas 7th, and the Grizzlies 8th.
Okay. Savage.
He literally got mine. That's the exact same. Exact same. So there it is.
Trevor.
Let me see. For the East, I think the top 3, actually the top 4 stays with Milwaukee, Toronto, Boston, and Miami. I think Indiana's going to drop, but they're not going to drop that far. I think they drop to 6. Philly will move up to 5. Brooklyn will drop to 8th because they just got too many injuries. And Orlando will find a way to sneak up as the 7th. So similar to what Tuke has. And then out West, I think the West stays the same as is. With Memphis as
I can definitely see that.
Aston.
How long is Embiid out with his little calf injury?
He's just rest.
His rest.
Okay. I got Philly moving up a bit, past Indiana. At the same time, the West stays. I say the Rockets will take the Thunder spot, honestly. Move up 1 spot.
1 spot.
Dallas stays where they're at. I hate to say Memphis stays where they're at. Of course they stay where they're at, but yeah, nothing but the Rockets move up and Philly will move up.
Yeah. Scal.
Top 4 in the West in the Eastern Conference, I believe they'll stay the same. Actually, let's just keep the Eastern Conference 1 through 8 the same. The Western Conference, I think that will stay the same for the most part. But the team that I think is going to not do well or digress a little bit is Utah. I believe Utah lost a player. The player is
Bogdanovich.
There you go.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Really good shooting, Bogdanovich. So losing him,
Leading scorer, I think.
yeah, there you go. You lose him, and apparently Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert still ain't doing well. So I think that's a lot to consider too. So I believe the Jazz actually probably drop down in the standings.
Him and Donovan Mitchell and Mike Conley don't mesh. I've watched a few of their games. They just do not mesh together at all.
Who's it?
Savage. What? You watching this, Savage?
Now I gotta hit it.
I know. I'm sorry.
I was trying to watch it.
Wow. Now I gotta hit it.
Wow. All right.
All right, go ahead. I think Sheedy was next.
Yeah.
All right. As I messed that up. So I'll start in the West because everyone always starts in the East. The West, the only thing I want is Oklahoma City and the Rockets 4-5 or 3-6. And I'd rather see them at 4-5. That's really what I want. I think the Jazz will bump down. But everything else pretty much stays the same. In the East, y'all know how much I've talked at length about how much I do not respect the Philadelphia 76ers. So love to see them at the 5 seed. And I love to see them play Miami, and I believe that's going to be a quick series. Indianapolis is going to fall down, unfortunately. And so is Brooklyn because, even Mike Beasley couldn't stay on the team.
Wow.
Well, mine's the East stays the same with the exception of I think Orlando jumps Brooklyn and Philadelphia. Nah, I keep Philadelphia and Indiana where they're at. Indiana 5, Philadelphia 6. Western Conference, I have Utah falling down to 6, so Thunder move up to 5. Thunder move up to 4. Rockets move up to 5. Jazz at 6. The same reasons Scout just said. All right. NFL time.
They got a fun.
Here's the phone line. This is what I was saying on here.
Oh, the trade. I was about to say, okay.
I forgot.
So, unfortunately, Jamal Adams got traded, and he didn't get traded to the Cowboys. He got traded to the Seattle Seahawks, which I think definitely boosts the Seahawks immediately on defense. They traded, a first round for this next year in 2022, a third round, and a fourth round pick. And the Jets they also got Bradley McDougal. I don't even know his name. McDougal. His best year was in Tampa Bay in 2016. So he's down. And so what are you guys' thoughts about the trade for Jamal Adams? Do you think it was too much? Do you think it wasn't enough? And then where you maybe see his future? Is he going to stay with Seattle or does he move on?
I don't think it's too much, only because it's the Seattle Seahawks. I think if it was just some random Washington football team or if it's some random team in the NFC, I believe it's too much. When you're the Seattle Seahawks and you're contending with the San Francisco 49ers just in your division alone, and then you got to go with the likes of the Saints and the Buccaneers and the Packers and all that type of stuff. So to make a move like that, I believe is necessary. Granted, I think it's too much, but again, it's the Seattle Seahawks, and you need to do whatever you can to make yourselves completely relevant as much as possible for Russell Wilson's sake. And then, two, just to get out of your division, and then, two, try to get to the Super Bowl. So for the Seattle Seahawks, on paper, I think it's enough. I think they did exactly enough just to go get him.
Yeah, you don't make this kind of move, in my opinion, if you don't plan on signing Jamal Adams long term. So I think Seattle giving up as much as they did to get Jamal Adams definitely keeps their window open for a little bit. As Scholar just mentioned, trying for them to even get past their division and all the contenders in the NFC. So kudos to the Seahawks today.
So I had some time to think about this trade. I'm all for getting an all-pro player. I feel like the Jets did a good job at getting a lot of draft picks back, as well as a decent safety. Go in the back of their defense, but I think this does nothing for Seattle. Like, their defense was already good, but they need new offensive coordinator. I've been saying this for like 2 years. I said ever since they played Dallas, I think it was Dallas in the playoffs, and they still have nobody that calls the right plays. So I feel like they gave up too much in the sense of they didn't get an offensive weapon or offensive coordinator.
My sentiments were literally the same as yours, Savage. You hit it right on the head, bro. It's like you spend a lot. I ain't gonna say spend a lot, but you use a lot of your assets to get somebody on defense, which is great. Definitely top 3 in his position. But offense, you still kind of like not there yet. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna definitely have to extend Jamal. What's his contract? Do y'all know his contract?
Got 1 year left.
Yeah.
One year left. So you definitely gonna have to throw the bag at him because you're not gonna give up 2 first rounders just for somebody to play 1 year with you, you know, just to rent, unless you want some Kawhi Leonard-ish. But I don't see that happening. And once you do invest that money into him, offensively, you still lacking, and I think that may hurt him. But you know, you still got Russell Wilson. Y'all think he's still the great, so we gonna roll with it.
I do agree with you that he may make his way to Atlanta eventually.
Ooh,
I don't think money is the issue for
Russell
him.
Wilson.
Russell Wilson. I don't want to see Russell Wilson in the NFC.
I believe he wanted that. I believe he wanted that back because he would have, if the Jets would have stayed, if he would have stayed in New York, then I think he's not a big fan of Adam Gase. I don't think he's a big fan of the ownership in New York, which is why he was asking for that much. I don't think he's gonna get that much at all. I just think he wanted either that much money to stay there or he wanted to get out. And so I don't think Seattle's gonna have to pay that much money to keep him.
Okay.
I wasn't demanding the Cowboys uniform. So how I feel about it, I actually disagree with Savage. I think it does still make them a better team on defense. I disagree on that point. But I also agree with I can't keep seeing Russell Wilson doing a bootleg, you know, for a quick slant. And so, you know, things do have to change on the offensive side. But I think when you add someone to the talent of Jamal Adams and what he's done since he's been in the league, you can't turn that away. But that's on them to get some more talent on offense and whoever they need to talk to about that. Because, again, I'm tired of him rolling out for a pass.
Yeah.
It's the coordinator, man. They got talent on offense. It's the coordinator.
Yep.
Yeah.
I speak the same sentiments as Savage and Took. I think it was a good trade for both teams, but it didn't swing nothing for me. I don't think Seattle is a Super Bowl favorite now all of a sudden. For that exact reason, I didn't see no offense coordinator getting swapped or, you know, anything like that. I mean, Jamal Adams helps. The defense is already good. He helps them maybe become an elite defense. Sure, maybe. I mean, elite defense doesn't win Super Bowls, and you still got the quarterback, but he got to get past that play calling to pull it off. So, yeah. And I would love to get him in Madden, though. I say that. This year, I'm definitely targeting the Seahawks. That's definitely going to help with Bobby Wagner and Jamal Adams with that fumble trade.
Coordinator.
They don't need them with that. They're going to be causing a lot of fumbles on Madden. That's all I got to say on that one. So, top 5 wide receivers, Savage.
All right, let me share my screen.
It's like an X got the trait called Avalanche. The folks like force fumbles. Like, yeah.
All right, can y'all see it?
Yep.
Yep.
Sir.
Here.
All right, cool. All right, so 2 weeks ago we had our lost it. There we go. So 2 weeks ago we had our controversial top 10 quarterback list. For the second time, we're gonna condense it to top 5 wide receivers. And I'm gonna fly through the top 5 real quick, and then at the end, I'm gonna have you guys comment your thoughts about the list.
Okay.
So at number 1, this guy just got traded from a worse place to a better place. It is DeAndre Hopkins of the Arizona Cardinals.
Good job, fellas.
Definitely the favorite amongst the Let's Be Real crew. So that's number 1, DeAndre Hopkins. At number 2, we got a guy who, in my opinion, suffers from poor quarterback play, but he still managed to go out there and go get the ball, and that's Don Julio. Julio Jones at number 2. And at number 3, we got a guy who is a 99 in Madden, just announced last week. We got Kangar Michael Thomas from the Ohio State University. Shout out to Steve.
OH.
At number 4, we got a guy who is straight up an animal. And by animal, I mean a cheetah. Number 4, we got Tyreek Hill for the Kansas City Chiefs. Mm-hmm. And last but not least, number 5, we got a guy who just acquired another animal, the GOAT. We got Mike Evans at number 5. And of course, I got honorable mentions that were listed on our different lists. But the top 5 from 1 to 5 is DeAndre Hopkins, Julio Jones, Michael Thomas, Tyreek Hill, and Mike Evans. What are your guys' thoughts on this?
Who got all of them right?
Perry Sharkey. Yeah. Got them all right.
That was my top 5. I thought he copied my list.
So comments.
This is interesting, indeed.
I would say 1 and 2. I would say 1 and 2 is a coin flip. I believe the only reason Julio Jones is not number 1 is because, like you said, he suffers from bad quarterback play.
No, that's a terrible excuse.
Falcons in quite some time, and I also have not respected Matt Ryan in quite some time. I believe if Julio Jones had, Dak Prescott, I even say Dak Prescott, Ben Roethlisberger, if he had Ryan Tannehill, he would clearly be number 1 on this list. But because he has Matt Ryan, he's number 2 on this list. But I have no issues with DeAndre Hopkins being at number 1. And then after that, everything else I had is right. So that's my comment, I guess.
My only issue, I have Michael Thomas as number 1 because if you look at his stats from last season, like he's practically number 1 or top 5 in all of the major categories: yards, receptions, touchdowns, like you name it. He's either number 1 or top 5. So I'm okay with the list, but I definitely didn't see Michael Thomas at 3. DeAndre Hopkins, if I'm not mistaken, I actually had him down at 4.
Man, I had him at 3.
Jesus.
Oh, 3. Excuse me, not 4. I had him at 3. But top 3 is definitely interchangeable in my mind. But I'm okay with the top 3. I just had Michael Thomas number 1 because, like, stats prove it. Like, he's number 1 in almost all of the categories for a receiver.
My problem with Michael Thomas, though, is that he is a very much so a volume receiver. Y'all know that I am known as static, so I got some stats for y'all real quick.
Let's go.
All right, so Kangar Mike did have almost 150 catches, had 1,700 yards receiving, 9 TDs. My problem is 2 things. 1, he had only 11 yards per catch, literally a slant route. And then 2, his longest catch was 49 yards. So for comparison's sake, I actually had Mike Evans above. Did I have Mike Evans above? Let me see. Yeah, I did. I had him at 3. I had Thomas at 4. But Mike Evans, he had literally more than like half, less than half of Michael Thomas's receptions. He had 67 receptions, 1,100 yards, 8 touchdowns, 17 yards per catch, and then 67 yards was his longest reception twice. So I did some math and I multiplied the percentage of Michael Thomas's volume with Mike Evans. And so that went up to 100 catches, 1,700 yards receiving, 12 touchdowns. So I feel like if Mike Evans had the same volume that Michael Thomas got, of course, he would have more stats. But I just feel like Mike Thomas is a volume receiver. What are y'all thoughts about that?
Again, I agree with that statement. I've seen the New Orleans Saints is just about as on TV as much as the Dallas Cowboys are. Yeah. And I've seen, again, he's good, but he doesn't wreck a game like Julio and DeAndre Hopkins does. I've seen games of both of those players. And there's absolutely, Antonio Brown too. There's almost no defense that you can put together on Monday through Saturday to say, I'm going to stop DeAndre Hopkins and Julio Jones, and it works. Not too many times you actually see that. And again, like you said, I've seen Malcolm Thomas get 8-yard catch here, get a 9-yard catch reception here, and he does that on a consistent basis. But DeAndre Hopkins is going to go deep on you. Julio Jones is going to grab the ball from off the top of your helmet and then score a touchdown at the end of the day. So that's why I had those top 2.
Shout out to Bill O'Brien for getting D-Hop out of my division.
If I could, the top 3 for me were interchangeable. What made me pick D-Hop number 1 was the level of quarterback play that he has had to suffer through for years.
Boom.
Yeah. Number 1 to me. Number 2, then same thing with the quarterback play. Julio. If Julio I don't understand why Julio is not targeted in the red zone the way he's supposed to.
God.
Because if he gets more targets in the red zone, then I believe he's going to make more of a case for his number 1. And then Michael Thomas, you would think as an Ohio State fan, I would put him at number 1. No. His yards are great. Yes, I think he gets a lot of things off, those quick slants, stuff like that. But those are first downs, too. And so it keeps the chains moving. So I got Mike at 3 for my list. But D-Hop has had the worst list of quarterbacks. We can talk bad about Matt Ryan. We can talk bad about Drew Brees. But you compare them to, I don't even know who.
Brock
Osweiler.
Tom Savage.
Thank you. I was about to say, right. It was almost like James Harden was throwing the ball, but he was still going to catch it. And so shout out to D Hop, and I think he's the best receiver. I can explain my 4 through 5 when we got time. I'm waiting on Stage to let me know.
Any other comments about top 5?
I guess I'll go ahead and go. That's actually my top 4. Y'all know how I feel about D Hop, the best receiver in the game. Like you said, Sheedy, you throw him with anybody, he gonna catch that ball. As far as a 2 or 3 go, I actually had Julio number 2 is because I've seen these guys, twice a year for the last 6, 7, 8 years, and I'm pretty as most Panther fans would say, we rather not game plan for Julio than Michael Thomas. You know what I'm saying? Like Julio Jones is a different breed, and I hate that he's in our division, but I respect him to the point where is all I can do is respect him. Michael Thomas got a lot of those, Drew Brees, you just need to throw the ball away. Let me go ahead and see what Michael Thomas can do. And I think all of us can attest to that. Tyreek Hill, Super Bowl champ, playing with Pat Mahomes, he got to be in the top 4. Possibly could be top 3. You know what I'm saying? He's going to be the next Antonio Brown if he not already is.
So, all right. So I'm gonna run through everybody's list as far as who was not listed. So I'll go first. I actually had Stephon Diggs at 5. And I feel like he's in a better situation with the Buffalo Bills with somebody who's going to actually throw the ball downfield and Josh Allen. I also did the percentage with Stephon Diggs, and his numbers went up to 95 catches, 1,700 yards, and 9 TDs if he had the same volume as Michael Thomas. So he's not better than Michael Thomas. I had him at 5, but just below Michael Thomas, but I feel like Diggs is due for another big year. Sharky, you had the top 5 listed perfectly. So I don't know if you have anything else to add to the top 5.
I commend you as a Panthers fan too, because 3 of them players up there are
Mike Evans,
man. As much as I complain about D Hop and he's gone, man. I'm sorry.
Man, I have nothing to say about this top 5 list at all. It's a great list. Mike Evans is that guy. Hey man, I'm rocking with it.
All right, Sheedy, you had Devontae Adams at number 4 and Mike Evans at 5. So talk about Devontae Adams.
I sure did. Devontae Adams, I didn't do the what you did static, unfortunately. But Devontae Adams, out of 12 games, had 997 yards. And so that was last season. And so we talked about Aaron Rodgers on 2 weeks ago and how much we plan to see him have a better year this year. And I think that boasts well for Devontae Adams. The one thing I did want to add about Evans is this stat line. I just want to read this really quickly. 1,493 yards, 23 touchdowns. Does anyone remember where that stat came from?
Randy Moss.
Yep.
Randy Moss was the last great receiver that Tom Brady had. Mike Evans, I don't know, I'm saying he's going to put up 23 touchdowns, but you can look forward to Tampa Bay and him putting up many more touchdowns than what he's done in the past. And he's the only player, one of the only players to have 6 straight seasons of 1,000 yards as well. But Devontae Adams is the one that's not on there, and I feel like he's going to have a great season. He's going to have over 1,000 yards and play all 16 games.
For sure. You said he had 900 yards in the season, Sheedy?
Devontae Adams had 12 games, 197. Mm-hmm.
He had 200 against the Eagles in one half. It was crazy.
He said,
I got safety help now. Our corner help, so y'all good.
He got hurt in the second quarter, and then I was like, Lord, thank you for getting him out the game. So, Skylar, you actually had Julio above Hopkins. What's up with that?
Yeah, I just think he's just that unguardable. I mean, I haven't seen too many corners being able to have a good day guarding Julio Jones, unless you're going against Matt Ryan. But other than that, Julio Jones is just that guy for me. Again, like I said, just regardless of whatever game plan you throw at him, he's going to wreck it, and he's going to have a solid day. He's probably going to have 8 catches, $135, on a weekly basis. So he's just that good to me. But at the end of the day, him and D Hop are pretty much in my eyes. It's a coin flip to me too. But then again, also I have Mike Evans at 5. I believe Mike Evans could sneaky big news and jump into the top 3. Like Sheedy said, he's consistent with it, 1,000 yards over the past 6 years. And Chad, as you said, he got Tom Brady on this side this year. So good luck with that one. Have fun too.
Speaking of Took, I actually sneaky like Took's number 5. This is the only white receiver on this list.
Rookie put him in there.
Talk about Adam Thielen.
Oh, I thought you put Christian McCaffrey.
I mean,
Hey, I'm like, he had like a 100-yard streak of like 10 straight weeks. He was on my fantasy team, so I know.
Had to be. But no, Adam Thielen, man, is in my opinion one of the most, if not the most underrated receivers in the game. Unfortunately, he only played like 10 games last season. He had 418 yards, but outside of that season, like, dude is consistent. Dude is unguardable. His hands are great. He's playing with a top 10 quarterback and Kirk Cousins. And the other guy, you know, the other guy that he's not throwing the ball to, Stephon Diggs, is not there anymore. So I thought, hey, Thielen already had 1,300 yards in the season before. Why not? Why won't that number go up? You know,
but
Diggs not going up.
Diggs there, so now that here comes double coverage. So can he beat double coverage? That's the thing.
I mean, we gonna find out. You know what I'm saying? But also, I did want to throw out, like, it was a hard time for me choosing between Thielen and Odell Beckham. So, like, Odell, I'm surprised he won in an honorable mention as well. But Odell went back to the blind. You know, Baker may come back with a vengeance on his hand, so we may be forgetting about Odell Beckham as well. So this was literally a hand.
Trust me, we just forget about the Browns again. He got to go against the Ravens 2 times a year. He got to go against the Steelers 2 times a year. Have fun, OBJ.
He has a shot. Now, put it this way, he was in my top 5 last year. Him and AB were in my top 5 last year, and those two are players. So Odell, he's probably like my number 6 or 7. So I ain't forgot about him, but he got to pretty much make up for it.
Now, and that's why
I was about to say Jarvis.
He may not even be the best receiver on this team, but we'll talk about that another day.
All right, Trevor, close us out with Chris Godwin and Amari Cooper.
All right, I've been hearing all this talk about Mike Evans, and don't get me wrong, it's much well deserved because he is one of the top receivers in the league. But his teammate Chris Godwin actually had better numbers than him this past season. And you can say, well, maybe it's because Mike Evans is being double teamed, but they're going against Jameis, so it is what it is. Chris Godwin was 3rd last season in yards behind Julio and Michael Thomas. 2nd in yards per game behind Michael Thomas, so those two were good for at least 100 a game. And he was top 5 in touchdowns last season. So that was he had a breakout year, and I think with Tom Brady, as you guys were mentioning with Mike Evans, with Tom Brady now at the helm, I can expect more of the same from Chris Godwin going forward. And as far as my number 5, it was really tough for me to decide. I actually went on and I put Amari Cooper as my number 5. Just outside the top 10 and actually at top 10 in yards, top 10 in touchdowns. This was by far his best year in his career in his first full season as a Dallas Cowboy. And I'm getting nothing but head shakes from the resident Cowboys fan here, but that was my number 5. So
he might be my number 10.
Now you brought out some great stats. Let me bring out this stat. He don't show up when he need to.
I agree.
That keeps him, to me, not in the top 5. Barely. I mean, he's scraping the bottom of the top 10. But he's got to show up consistently when he's getting, when we need him. He's not showing up when we need him. And that will be my knock about Amari Cooper so far.
I agree.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody got a troll or not?
I actually do.
All right.
We gonna stay on the topic. I don't know if it's been said or not, but troll or not, we gonna stay on it. Like I said, on the topic. CeeDee Lamb gonna have more yards and touchdowns than Amari Cooper next season. We just talked all that about Amari Cooper, but like you said, Sheedy, he don't step up when it's time to, and I think CeeD's coming with that 88 with a vengeance.
Ooh.
So open
another wound up again.
I'm gonna be nice to you today. Like I like Amari Cooper with the Raiders. CeeDee Lamb is dope.
I'm gonna say, so that's not out of the realm. I'm gonna say troll only for this reason. Because of COVID and no preseason games. So Dak has a great repertoire with Amari Cooper, right? And a lot of that stuff is timing. He won't have that chance to get there with CeeDee Lamb in this small amount of time for the season.
Good point.
That's the only reason to say a troll.
And then also he has a nice little thing with Michael Gallup too, who was like a
also-
strong number 2. So I don't see it. I'll go
I
troll.
forgot about Gallup. Good point.
Yeah, it's troll for me too, because Gallup actually was going ham when Cooper was tripping at the end of the season.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, you know where I stand. I say nothing.
Yeah, I would say it's only a troll because of Michael Gallup. If CeeDee Lamb were the number 2 receiver, I actually could see where you could definitely make an argument. But because right now he's probably number 3 on the depth chart, it's like it's kind of hard
now.
number 3 on the depth chart as wide receiver to be number 1, like have the best stats as a wide receiver on the team. That's the only reason I would disagree with you.
Unless you're Christian McCaffrey.
Unless you're Christian, he's number 1 and 2 receiver. On the depth chart.
Get more head task yards now.
Hey man, you can't disrespect DJ like that. He had 1,000 yards last season too. So
Yeah. All right. Anybody
I
else
got one.
Static.
So let's stay in Dallas. Y'all know where I am with Dak Prescott. I think we all have come to the consensus that Dak Prescott will probably not be there long term. I got another player that won't be there long term. And I think that this player will get traded next offseason. Troll or nah, Ezekiel Elliott will not be on the Cowboys next year. Think about the running back class, running back free agency, and I get memories of DeMarco Murray. They already paid Ezekiel Elliott, but I feel like there will be some kind of contender that's like, we one more piece away to take on a running back in his prime, add him to the team, and then boom. I'm looking at you, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But
So this is funny because in playing Madden this year, the Cowboys used to trade Zeke after the first year. Because of his contract. And he started Tony Pollard and made Tony Pollard into like a superstar. So
Am I right?
I could see that happening, but I'm gonna say troll only because I don't think Dak Prescott's gonna remain, and I doubt they let both of them go.
I'm going to say troll because the only reason I say troll is because I think Jerry Jones loves him some Ezekiel Elliott, and I can't see him, like Sergeant said, I can't see him coming off of both. I don't think Jerry Jones is that smart enough to let Ezekiel Elliott go. It would be the right thing to do financially, but I can't see Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones being that smart to make that decision.
Now, let me do say when he traded Zeke on that game, that man cap hit was he won't even sign free agent about 2 or 3 years. So I'm not sure if the cap hit is like that. I'm sure the salary cap was simpler, but his cap hit was pretty hard on the game.
yeah, I'm gonna say troll. Like Skyler, you hit it right on the head, man. If you're not gonna pay a quarterback, you might as well keep the running back you giving all this money to. So I'm gonna say troll just for that purpose.
Yeah, Zeke is at this point is probably gonna be the focal point of their offense going forward. So yeah, I'm gonna say troll.
Yeah, troll, because Jerry Jones ain't going to get rid of both. He kept Emmett too long. He kept Troy too long. But Mike Irvin was gone immediately because of some other stuff. But Jerry ain't going to let Zeke go. He's not. He'll let go of that, clearly, as we can see. But he ain't going to let go of Zeke.
Okay. Fair enough.
All right. Anybody else? Nope. All right. That's the end of this one. As we see, got sports back.
Yeah, dog.
Yes.
Justin Verlander is out for the season. Just got that notification.
Sheesh.
He's the
Who's out?
Cy Young Award winning
Well,
pitcher.
come on down, Yankees.
Man.
Let's go.
But yeah. So then we definitely got the content coming now. We did it. We
Yes,
had
sir.
it now. We definitely got it now.
Thursday's gonna be amazing.
Right.
Yes.
We should all get together and eat some rotel.
Yep, we ready to do it. Oh yeah. Also, can't forget your birthday will pass by the time this episode comes. So we got a birthday coming up.
Thanks.
Yes.
My
Appreciate y'all,
alien
man.
brother too.
Appreciate y'all.
Happy birthday, my friend.
What kind of bottle you want, dude?
You said what?
What kind of bottle do you want?
Yeah.
Anything brown. We ain't doing no tequila over here.
So that Brown over
Brown is going down.
Okay, cool.
All right. Just give an update. Next couple episodes for the next month. With Savage, I coordinate with him. We'll do top 5 lists for the rest of the positions in the NFL pretty much. So Stay tuned for that leading to the NFL season if it starts on time. And of course, we got NBA, we got WNBA. We're gonna talk a little bit of baseball too. We're gonna talk about some UFC. We got everything now. Shout out to sports returning.
Hey man, look at God.
Shout out to the Bulls. They're working so far.
Shout out to y'all. Consistency is key. Shout out to y'all.
Amen.
Yes,
Yeah, amen.
Shout out to us.
All right.
Shout out to the WNBA for them bright ass orange shirt
Hey,
jackets.
those times
whatever.
hard. I'm getting you one. I'm getting you one. Those times hard.
Yeah,
Come on, bright as hell.
shout out to the WNBA
Yes.
for their stance on Black Lives Matter and what they're doing, and they're really being the trailblazers for everyone. And it won't, if nobody else will stick up for black women gonna stick up for black women. So shout out to WNBA and what they're doing right now with walking off that court.
Yeah.
And then
For the national
it was
anthem,
5
yes.
26 seconds for the amount of the age that Breonna Taylor was when she was killed. So shout out to WNBA. And I need to order. I'll give you my address later.
Yes.
If y'all want to see us kneeling, we just gonna head to the back. I love it.
All right. Till next time, y'all.
I holla.
Peace.